I want to talk about how I play Pokemon. It's very different and when I tell about my friends about how I play, I usually get strange looks and questions. And I always answer that question of, I don't know, I just how I do it. And then they go, you can't just say that, I need more. Well, here's more. I'm going to link anyone to this now. I need to click onto the PowerPoint itself, but let me explain. So I have a thing called canon teams. And a canon team is the team of 6 Pokemon it uses in a run through the main story of a Pokemon game. And we're defining the main story as being from the start of the game to the ending credits. Anything after that, like post-credits, is optional. Like Heart Gold Soul Silver, for example, Johto is the main story. I never take Kanto into consideration. I'm gonna get this word. I didn't prepare for this. I'm winging it out of my ass like I did my actual speech classes. What I consider. So, Heart Gold Soul Silver, I do Johto. I don't do Kanto sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Now, there are some rules for my canon teams that are basically, I have to live by these rules. It helps me keep everything in line for future games, or just make sure my teams make a sort of sense. That's any Pokemon I use in a team cannot be used again in another game. Unless New Evolution, Form, Shenanigan, Shinada, bleh. Like Sandslash, for example. If I use Sandslash on a team, I can't use Sandslash anywhere else in a Pokemon game no matter what. Unless it's like, here's a Alolan Sandslash. That's a different of Pokemon. Your rules are not rules, they're chains. No, they're rules. They're rules, I labeled them as such. This is mainly a way for me to help me use more Pokemon. Because I don't like putting myself in a box of, oh, I like Charizard. I'm only gonna use Charizard in every video game. If Charizard's not my team, then what's the point? I hate that. I have favorite Pokemon, but I don't like reusing them. It's stupid. There's over 1,000 of these little critters. I gotta use all the critters so that I can make other critters under attack. There we go, smooth. And the other rule. Pokemon must be attained in that game. No events, post-game, or traded from other games. I basically can't use, I forget the exact systems for like when you want to reintroduce old events, like to get event-exclusive Pokemon, like doing the Victini event in Black and White, so you can have like an early game Victini. I won't do that. If there's like a promotional event like, hey, have a free shiny Beldum, I would love to use that shiny Beldum. I can't get it naturally, so no. Post-game mons, I don't like waiting all the way till post-game to get a team member. I don't care. I hate it. What about Game Shark Perfect IVs? No. It has to become naturally as possible. I found it frustrating you need specific type and use it all up. I don't know what you're talking about. And traded in from other games, the only thing is trade evolutions are fine, like a send it over there, come back. That's fine, but like, oh man, I wish I could use X Pokemon in this game. It doesn't exist in this game. I'll transfer over. Like, that's a big thing in Pokemon Sun. I really wanted to use a Krogunk in that game. Krogunk doesn't exist in Alola whatsoever. And it just means I couldn't use it. But what are preferred games? I should probably explain that. A preferred game is my favorite game to play to experience a certain region. For example, what's my preferred game to get through Kanto? Leaf Green. So I make a Leaf Green team, where the 6 Pokemon I use going through Leaf Green each time. I don't make a team for Fire Red, or any other version of Kanto, like Let's Go, or the originals. I don't touch that. My preferred way to get through that game is Leaf Green, so whenever I want to go through Kanto, I grab a copy of Leaf Green and replay it, with this canon team. Then, I get this one. Yes, thank you. I don't want to have 9 different lists for the same the different regions. If I have a way I like to go through a game, I'm just going to go through that way. Though I do admit some games offer different perks, like playing Crystal, for example, and then getting a Fanfy early game. It's so fun to run through that game with a Dawn fan. I've done it in Crystal. It's great. Still prefer Soul Silver. But now there's some rules for this presentation. For the most part, I'm bad at nicknaming Pokemon. I just suck at it. For the most of times, I usually just sit there sounding out letters and see what comes to mind, and sometimes they're not real words. So if you have a better names idea, say so. But also, if I like a name, no matter how stupid, be prepared to be told, no, this one's great. You gotta trust me on it. You just gotta trust me on it. Also, you can ask any question anytime. Just say it. I will answer it. Sometimes I'll go, we'll get to that later. But just be vocal. That's all I have to say. Enjoy this. Enjoy the shenanigans. Oh, hello, Ravage. What is this? Don't say professional. This isn't professional. I'm explaining how I go through Pokemon. For those who don't know, I have a canon teams, which are the 6 Pokemon I go through in a region. And those Pokemon I cannot use in any other game. And it's also my favorite game to go through a particular region. Yes, what is your question, Monolith, while I cap up Ravage? Also, there's no events, no in-game trades, everything has to make sense, and my main teams must be caught between the main story, when you get your starter, all the way to the credits. I can't really include team members after that. Why do you hate me specifically when it comes to team building? That's a great question. Moving on with the presentation. Let's start with Kanto. We go with Leaf Green. It's a goodie. I think this was almost my first game ever. It was my first Game Boy game. But my first Pokemon game was Diamond. No, it was Pearl. What am I saying? There's not very much to say here. I enjoy this team a lot. I'm one of the thousands of people who use that Lapras. Yes, Siren is misspelled. Do I like it? I like it. Listen, I get opportunity for Lapras before I do Seal, so that's the reason. Also, I want to mention Magmar here for a real second. If it's not on any teams, unfortunately, but if a later game I want to use Magmortar, that's fine. It's just, Magmar and Magmortar would be counted separately since they weren't introduced at the same time. Crystal's totally 100% self-imposed Pokemon rules. Be nice to me. Again, nothing crazy here. I like these little goobers. Now we have Soul Silver. So it's only the second game. We broke a rule already. We may have broken a rule, but I have a really good reason for it. Everyone on this team can be caught in Johto, except for Houndour. What about Pokemon I secretly trade you off screen? No, those don't work. Many who know me know I hate Heart Gold Soul Silver. I hate Johto a lot. I have a lot of problems with it. One of my main problems with it are Pokemon introduced in that game. Like Houndour. Houndour only exists in Kanto, yet it's a Johto Pokemon. I hate it. There's so many trainers running around with Houndour. I look at Team Rocket, I say I want it. It works so well, and for one run of the game, I said fuck it, and transferred over a Houndour that was like level 24-ish, level 23, from Platinum to this, when I got it, when I would be able to around that level. And I got Brimstone. That Houndour was so much fun that it breaks the rule because it just works too well. I love it. I love it. You can't say you hate me and I understand. Yeah, I know, but it takes so long. It takes so long to get that Houndour. Like, I almost used Tyranitar, but I hate the Safari Zone Heart Gold Soul Silver. It takes so many days to get what you want, and by then I do one simple action. Heart Gold Soul Silver bad, and that's an entirely different PowerPoint that I'll probably make one other day, where I think those are some of the worst remakes of any Pokemon game, besides Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, because those games suck. So cool. Oh, so Rule of Cool applies as well. Only for this one. Only for this one. Only for this one. Let's move on to the best remake. No, the best remakes are these ones. So if you notice, my Flygon has a very interesting nickname. One of my first playthroughs of this game, I used a Flygon, because why not? It's Flygon. Who doesn't love Flygon? I was gonna name him Gogglehead. I've already got chat against me. Yay. And Gogglehead, like, it's got the little things on his head. That's great. I love it. I misspelt it by adding one too many zeros and forgetting a G. So, but it made me laugh. So now we have Googlehead. Googlehead the Flygon. It makes me laugh too much to not. Also, as you can see, Pokemon with their Mega Evolution sprites here, or images whatsoever, get that Mega Evolution through the main story. Since I play Omega Ruby, Sharpedo is post-game. Sharpedo is the main game if you are playing Alpha Sapphire. But I like Ruby more due to options and all that. Also, this team got changed very recently. Hamada Hariyama used to be a Manectric, but I've been really wanting to change that Manectric for so long. Listen, I'll make my things about Heart Gold Soul Silver another time. You're just gonna have to move on for now. You're just gonna have to trust me. You're just gonna have to trust me. The game, one of the best games ever, is Pokemon Platinum, and this is how you get through Sinnoh. Also, in Platinum, you get options to 2 different Shelloses. You got East or West. I forego using West in favor of East because pretty. I like the colors more. They mix well, and also with the rest of the team, it looks a lot nicer. I like them. I like Slushy in these colors. I say so in the love world. Your nicknames give 8-year-old energy, and I feel that very endearing. Correct. We're nowhere near done. This team has changed, I think, only once, and then it went back to this. I did a singular run where Frostlass was a Dusknoir, because you can get a Duskull much earlier in the game, and Dusknoir gets access to the Elemental Punches, which are so much fun. It's so much fun running around with a Dusknoir with all the Elemental Punches and Shadow Punch, or Shadow Sneak. It's great. If you were gonna say you count those 2 Gastrodons separate, I will. I'm glad you brought that up, because I do. If I ever go through a game and use West Gastrodon, it counts entirely differently. It does, even if it's technically 2 different forms. It's technically 2 different forms. It counts, it counts. I'm rapidly approaching your location. Oh yes, and also the Porygon line. If I can use many different Porygons, this one just locks down Z. It's the only Porygon team, unfortunately, because I really need to use 2 in something, because 2 is a hell of a tank. Also, you may have noticed back in Leaf Green, my Fearow that was named K, and my Staraptor named Q. If I use a starting bird, I name them after letters, but expand the word. I don't get it. I'm so sick of you pissing me off. Wait! As you notice, I have the nice little backgrounds to help, like, place the Pokemon. White on a white background. I chose the background before I started. I'm not sorry. The best game. I knew this man is sick. Platinum is the best way to go through Sinnoh. But also, we have White version. One of the best. It also has... White was the game that really, really got me into Pokemon, I think. Because it just, like, expanded all this horizons. Great story and everything. Also, fun fact, my starter Emboar is named after a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Bujinti Sanzanuo. Love those cards. White is one of the best games. Also, for those questioning about its sequel games, you don't worry. White 2 is a different enough story that it gets its own team and story. So, I knew the moment I saw Emboar. So, White and White 2 are very different stories with different Pokemon in many different senses. It's almost entirely different region, so they get 2 different sets. It's a direct sequel game, not a remake. So therefore, playing through Unova 2 times and through this 2-parter just makes sense. Hard mode? No, actually. I actually play these games on normal because easy and hard mode are too stupid to get. I don't care for them. I actually don't care for hard mode. Hard mode's actually easier for EXP reasons. You get EXP way faster after you get through the very little hurdle at the beginning, and then after that, it's the easiest game in the world. I kid you not. Easy mode is harder because of that exact reason. Yeah, oh yeah, these games are great. These games are great. Also, I love this team. This team also used to be a problem for the longest time because I used to serve Snivy as my starter. I love it. It's one of the best grass starters. The problem is, 2nd gym's a poison gym, 3rd gym's a bug gym. I don't get access to Jumi until Desert Resort, which is after 3rd gym. So I would only have a Servine handling these 2. I tried so many different options. Tried Arcanine, didn't really work out. I thought about trading over a Magpie from Black 2. That was my trading rule, and I just said no to that. And then I remembered Elekid, and I caught one just like, maybe it'll be a temporary team member. I've never done one of those before, I'll try it. That little fucking Elekid nuked the shit out of everything that I've seen. I've only done a Livewire Electivire run once. I've never seen a Pokemon get so many critical hits, I think out of spite. It got its place on this team out of fear. Electivire is great. Let's move on to Kalos. So listen. So this team has been giving me the most trouble. Like, I can't find a team member that fits and captures everything. Hi, Cat. So perfectly. So this is a team of 5. It is not permanently a team of 5, but I've been looking my darndest for a 6 team member for so long. I can't. I've tried everything. I tried Blastoise. It fell off yeah, Kukulane. That's Kulane's base nickname. It's literally based off Kukulane. X and Y aren't finished. They are finished. Hi, Luffy. X and Y are finished. They're really fun to play. X and Y has just the worst writing I've ever seen in a video game. That's not true. There's worse. But like I said, I've tried Blastoise. I've tried Charizard. I tried Charizard Y when this was originally Y. It didn't go well. Charizard X, I don't like it. It's nyeh. Noivern, you get that after the game. Drapion, you get that after beating no, actually, Noivern and Drapion are specific. You get them, after beating Team Flare. I find that stupid. I want my team of 6 going against Team Flare. What do you mean you didn't like Lysander's moving motiveless team? I really wanted to like Team Flare. They're so bad. They're so bad. Also, another thing about Pokemon X and Y, I want you to guess how many available Mega Stones you have access to before post-game. Because you unlock more than 75% of them at post-game. It's insanity. They should have gone more into the fashion angle. Oh yeah, Pokemon X is I was replaying it recently. I fell off, and that was my main inspiration to make this. Yeah, their fashion sucks. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's insanity. Besides your Kanto starters, why they give you a Kanto starter, not the fucking Kalos Pokemon? There's not a Kalos Pokemon with a Mega Evolution. I'm so angry. ZA, I trust you. So you have your 3 starters, Kanto starters. They get 1. Charizard gets 2 because fuck Charizard. It's the best boy. It deserves everything. Why shouldn't it get it? There's Ampharos, which is on a route you never actually need to go on. Lucario makes the most sense because you get a special bond with that Lucario. Yeah, I'm not over that Ravage. Megastones only appear at certain times. Why? Fuck you, that's why. Bulbasaur, why not? There's a reason I can't use that cat. I've already used Bulbasaur for Leaf Green and Dinotato. I can't reuse him. Mega Evolution is not a different form because it is not permanent. It has to be a entirely unique new form. So we have this. Also, for those who don't know, Pavilion is the best early game bug ever. It gets Compound Eyes and eventually learns Hurricane. Hurricane is like 80 accuracy. Compound Eyes makes it 100 accuracy, and it's a 110 flying type move that confuses the target. That little bug doing shit. Also, yes, that is the particular pattern my Pavilions are get. Gastron is just a palette swap. Moving on. No, it's entirely different form. It's a permanent form model. Talonflame. Thought about it. I tried once. I couldn't get it to work. I don't know why. I just couldn't get it to work. I tried. Oh, what area do you get? Area you get from Pavilion? I'm in Texas. I forget exactly which area, because I think America has 3 different pavilions. If I remember correctly, I think this is the either western or central one. Yes, there's so many pavilions. I think there's what, like 13 or more? And it's not the event exclusive. Please enter the title one. I want to make Monolith Seethe. Teehee. Pokemon Sun! Fun fact, this team is somewhat based on Rain, because Pelipper gained a Drizzle in this game. Pelipper actually gained a buff to its stats a little bit in this game. So, when I learned it had Rain, I replayed the game with a Wingull that has hydration. It evolves and gains Drizzle as Pelipper. So I made a little rain team off it. And it's so fun. So you have Tazult, who eventually will get Thunder, which becomes 100% accurate in rain. Also, Luvi, good choice. Pokemon Sun's real good. Schloppers, he's basically made for rain with hydration. And he's just, look at that little dragon. He's a good little dragon. Spit Flare to max. And I love Cosmic, my Miniors. They're so great. So the thing is about Garbodor. I actually haven't used Garbodor on this team on the time of making this. I realized how dumb that sentence is down there. Don't worry about it. But I liked the idea of using Garbodor. It fit into a lot of things, like a fighting weakness I had, and also a poison type who it can learn Psychic naturally. I respect the chart choice. It's only this one. I love Rowlet and Decidueye, so good. So I will be using the Garbodor. He's set though. Rubble is set, I just need to actually use it. When we use it, is an entirely different thing. Ultra Sun is dead, I hate it. Moving on. Now we're into Kalos. I just said Kalos, didn't I? We're not in Kalos, we're in Galar with Shield. So, Galar added Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing. Gigantamaxing when certain Pokemon get a unique form, yada yada. 4 Pokemon in this team have Gigantamax modes. I can't get them naturally in the game, and Isle of Armor is optional, and I don't really agree to go through Isle of Armor to get it. I just don't care. I thought about it. I think I did a run where I did Isle of Armor at the same time, but it's so much back and forth, that I just gave up on it and just said, fuck it. Is there actually an Ultra Slide? No. Ultra Sun and Moon are not different enough in a good way. They're bad. Also, this was the only team for the longest time where I took Grookey, my starter, off and replaced him with Drifblim. Don't you gotta feed him something to get their Dynamax form? Yes, you have to get these special mushrooms that are only on the Isle of Armor, do a cutscene for curry that is unique to Isle of Armor, you can't make the curry yourself, and then give that one dish to one of your Pokemon. Then you have to go and hopefully find them again by doing raids. Exactly, Luvi, exactly. I like this team, but Now we have Scarlet. I've only used this team once because I really don't have good things to say about Scarlet, but I enjoy this team a lot because it's Sunny Day themed. This is one of the few teams where I double down on types a lot. Like I have 3 fire types and 2 grass types. I am not crazy about that. I only like doubling down twice. The fact that I did 3 still bamboozles me. But I love this Sunny Day team because my Tropius Apatodon gets Tailwind and Scovillain will have Sunny Day, which I need a better name for Scovillain besides Scoville. I just couldn't think of anything. Exactly. And also, both of those 2 members have Chlorophyll, and Sunspot and Belos get a little bonus from it. Glops has Water Absorb, and it's just great. Yes, my Low Kicks is named after a Kamen Rider character. I love him. I really like this team. I just wish I liked the game it came from more. But that's not the end of it. You see, there's more games to Pokemon than just the mainline games. Welcome to Coliseum, where they're not mainline games. They are side games, it's what they're credited as, but they play enough to the mainline game where it's simple enough to use. Like, we have Sol and Luna, which are, of course, light and dark, yada yada, but I also see them as Fire Emblem references. He's quagging. Yes, we do have Creek, my Quagsire. Also, my little Mischievous named Mistred. Their nickname doesn't change regardless of their gender, so I could have a male Mistred. Trans rights or humans' rights? That's what I'd like to say at the end of the day. I love this team. Also, for the longest time, Equan, my Hitmontop, was not my final team member. It was Raikou. And then I used Equan as a temporary team member, and it one-shot the Raikou. So I just said, sure, you get his spot, you killed him for it. And then we have XD, and like Black and White 2, it's an entirely different game, so, well, not entirely different game, it's an entirely different story, new areas, new Pokemon. So we got this team. This team went through many changes. for those who were early enough, I streamed through both Coliseum and XD. Those VODs are gone. I forgot to save them and just never went back to save them, unfortunately. Originally, we did not have Bunker. Oh, I don't. Oh, don't I know it. Bunker used to be an Aggron. I really hated using that Aggron in this game because Aggron's Gen 3 move pool is atrocious. It learns one Rock-type move. That Rock-type move is Rock Tomb. Fuck Rock Tomb. Hate it. Hate it with... Oh, I've never hated a Pokemon move like Rock Tomb before. Oh, it missed so often. It missed so often. Ugh. And I got rid of it and got Bunker, and then Bunker just sits there and throws out spikes and then doesn't die. I love it. I love this team. It's real good. Now, Legends Arceus. This might be one of my favorites, honestly. I say that a lot, but legitimately. This team's so good. This team's so good. Oh, I love them so much. What, my notes, I forgot, my main note here is Otto the Samurott. If I were to ever, reuse, I actually like Belos for, oh, Skullivan, Tabasco, Sriracha. I actually like that. Yeah, this team's real good, but for Otto, my Samurai, it means I can't use the Unova starters unless I get base Samurott. Because I've used all of them, I can't use a single Unovan starter anymore. They're all been used up. Whoopsie! So, that's all my teams, right? 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 Maybe. Maybe so. Maybe. I'm gonna tell you. Right? No, we're in we're in ROM hacking fan game time. Welcome to Pokemon Gaia. My favorite ROM hack of all time. It's the best. Go play Pokemon Gaia. It's so good. Great writing, great gameplay, great everything. But wait, there's more slideshow. There's a few of those, Luffy. It's so good. Also, this is my strongest team. I have a fucking Milotic, a Salamence, an Infernape, and that Absol absolutely has super luck. So it is cracked in an entirely different way. I love this team so much. I literally replayed this game like 2 days ago while I'm sick. It was so good. Also, there is one error on this. Bahamut should have been its Mega form because Gaia gives you Mega Evolution. It does it really well as well. I love this team. Also, Pandora and Sinbad. Why are there two names? It's based on its gender. If it's a male, it's named Pandora. If it's a female, it's... Reverse that. If it's female, it's named Pandora. If it's male, it's named Sinbad. I'm good at things. Also, with this, I only have access to Piplup of the Sinnoh starters. I'm running out of starters. Pokemon Bushido! Another really good ROM hack. There was... I believe there's a way to get this, or if it's been taken down, unfortunately. I do not remember. I'll have to look into it again. But this is also a team that changed after I streamed it. I streamed this game. Koto and Bastion were not on that team. It was originally a Cradilly? I remember, Blue, I think you got them when we just started dating. Correct. It was, because Sapphire actually named my Glaceon. They said Blue, I said sure. But Koto used to be a Cradilly, and Bastion used to be a Renulicus. I streamed this game. There's parts of it on my channel. I don't recommend them. Especially the finale was not saved, and I remembered why. Because the final boss was so hard, I got a little angry at it. It's a good fight, though. You fight Shadow Lugia, but you can't catch it. So you actually have to fight Shadow Lugia. Because this game reintroduces Shadow Pokemon. Does it very... actually, it does it okay. Pokemon Bushido is my second favorite ROM hack. It has its own problems. I'm not remembering Vixen's stream from earlier with Blue. Also, this is a game where I throw away my starter. In Bushido, you get Fennekin, Trico, or Oshawott. As you know... Hold on. This has got to be restart. There we go. As you know, I've already used Trico and Oshawott. So the only thing I have access to is Fennekin. And then I walk into Route 1, and there's a Froakie. I catch the Froakie, and I throw Fennekin down a well. And I like Fennekin too. But also, it's a Greninja. It just fits so much better. And also Soul is the only time I've ever shared nicknames. I try not to double down on nicknames as well. Not as hard a rule as you can see, but I just try. Soul is an in-game traded Pokemon. Because Rip Fennekin, yeah. Because if you catch a Riolu, there's a person in the next town off Route 1 that trades you a Larvesta. And I use that thing the entire game, and it's great. I love it. I love it so much. Oop, click back on here. Now we have Pokemon Unbound. Oh, I think the best way to describe it, because Hoopa's the main target of this game, or like the main Mon, like the box art Mon is the best way I was describing it. So you fight every legendary, you fight so many different things. It does so many different things that I really like it. And your starters are great. Your starter choices are Larvitar, Beldum, or Gible. Also, Beldum gets more moves besides takedown, so it's usable. You start out in an ice-type region. Like, you start up in an ice-type route as your Route 1. It's great. And also, since I use Tyranitar, I use a Sandstorm team, as you can tell. Yeah, Larvitar's best starter. Also, if you're wondering about King the Silvally, you get a pair of weather goggles extremely early in the game. So I just have King the Silvally. Also, King and Yunnan are based off Disney Channel characters. If you know them, I appreciate you. Yes, you already know Sapphire before you start typing. Ooh, I'm talking so much. Alright. That's it for my ROM hacks. What about Mystery Dungeon? They're very different. They're so incredibly different that they don't count. They don't count for my use of Pokemon. If I counted Mystery Dungeon in my can't use, yes, Luvi, Amphibia, General Yunnan, thank you, Luvi. If I included Mystery Dungeon for my list of Pokemon I can't use, I'd run out of starters so quick. I wouldn't have access to any starters anymore. But we have my little goobers. Also, I don't know why, but all the protagonists are named Karma. Do I have a reason? No. Does it make sense to me? Yes. But they're named Karma. One thing I forgot to add, their names for like their teams. I've forgotten all of them because I never write them down. Yeah, but Mystery Dungeon teams are fun to build. I love these games. They're all good, except Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity. Gates to Infinity is one of the worst games I've ever seen. It's so bad, we're gonna move on. Is that the end? Well, for Pokemon, yes. But there are many different Monster Tamers video games out there, and guess what? These rules apply in Monster Tamers in some different ways. So let's move on to Monster Tamers. Welcome to Monster Hunter Stories. One of my favorite Monster Tamers of all time. It just got ported to the Switch. It's great. I love this game so much. It plays entirely differently. You fight alongside your monsters. I can't recommend it enough. Also, a lot of the Monster Hunter mons are just great. It's just great. Also, as it states right there, these teams are divided into different... Yeah, but wait, there's more. They're divided into different types, like there's speed, power, technical. It has a rock, paper, scissors type, but the combat is so more intricate than that I say go play it for yourself. Both games have demos. Go check them out. This is a threat. Crystal. What? Don't worry about it. Sword and Shield respectful? Yes, yes. For this, Sword and Shield respectful. Speaking of Monster Hunter, it's not here, but whenever I go through a game of Monster Hunter, I don't double down on using weapons. So I use a different weapon every monster game, except for the Stories games. Next slide will prove that. Because Stories had a sequel. It's so good. If Cassette Beast hadn't happened, this would be the best Monster Hunter game, or Monster Tamer game. It's so good. Also, yes, Wrath of the Rathalos is required for both runs of each game. It's just required. I can't change it. I can only change 5 of my team members. It's great. Also, besides Voltara and Plumes, I was going for an orange coloring on this team because my rider is even orange. I'm looking for Digimon with the Laser Sight. I love Monster Hunter Stories. They're so good. I've been whittling Vixen down to play these games. And Vixen, if you're watching, play these games. They're so good. They're so good. They're so good. Where's Infinite Fusion? Infinite Fusion goes through Kanto. Infinite Fusion is not my preferred way to go through Kanto. That is why it's not on here. Leaf Green is. So speaking of Digimon, welcome to Digimon World Dusk. Most of my Digimon themes have a color theme or something along those lines when we go through them. This one were like darker colors like blacks and grays, and also just evil Digimon. That's how Dusk was even sold. So I have these little funky guys. Also, for some reason, my team members just hate having good PNGs to grab off the internet. So Skull Mammothmon down there does not look like that at all in the game. He looks entirely different, but that was the clear one I could find. Combined, we couldn't get Vixen to finish Impossible Creatures. Monster Hunter Stories is a good game, though. Impossible Creatures isn't. Even though I like Impossible Creatures. I don't have enough really to say about Digimon World Dusk. Mainly because Dusk and Dawn are bad games. I've played this once, never again. But I also really enjoy this team because I... Like, look at them. What's not to love? What's not to love? We're on to Cyber Sleuth now. You knew this one was coming. The color theme for this is red or white. Also, for my Digimon teams, if you notice, they're not nicknamed. I don't know what it is with me and Digimon. I just can't nickname them. They have to just be their names. It's how I remember them, and just... I don't know. I think it's also because there's just too many Digimon forms for evolution's sake. We did your comment about to get fixed, and look where we are now. I'm going through it, Luffy. When I feel better, hopefully next week, I'm gonna restart on Impossible Creatures. Not restart, continue. Also, when playing through these games, I just keep the base name. I don't go for any other funky shenanigans. No. No, this is not Smash or Pass. This is me explaining my Pokemon teams. Or how I go through Monster Tamers in general. Yeah, Restaranimon. As you can see, I have sort of a red, white, that sort of like heroic theme. Oryamon doesn't make any sense, but he fits. Just trust me on it. Just trust me. Just trust me. Cyber Sleuth had an entire side story DLC called Hacker's Memory. So I had red, white. I changed it to blue and white, with some darker colors in there, like using a Chaos Galamon instead of just regular Galismon. Some Pokemon, like, the entire time I have to use Guilmon. There's no Chaos Guilmon. So, as long as their final form ends in the preferred colors of that team, they work. So I can use a red or bright green Digimon at some point, and long it ends up in this. Also, Hacker's Memory, Cyber Sleuth games let you have up to, like, I think 12 team members, if I remember correctly. I only use 6, because it's easier to keep track of, and just easier to focus on 6 guys than 12, or even 8. I think it's somewhere. 11, thank you. It's too many. Cassette Beast! Cassette Beast is the best monster tamer of all time. It's just factually true. There's nothing better than Cassette Beast as a monster tamer. It's just the plain hard truth. I will die on this hill. I love this team so much. The gameplay, you've seen Vixen play it, hopefully. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's on Switch. It's on PC. It's so good. It's so good. I shake you all. I shake you all violently. Go play Cassette Beast. If you've taken anything away from this, Cassette Beast. Also, as you know, these games are all double battles, and you have to have a partner. So your partner has a particular one. I have Robin Dam. But my boy Eugene, who uses Robin Dam, is my favorite, so he's represented here. But Robin Dam is a placeholder for every of your partner's signature cassette monsters. The other 5 are my choices, like my starter Capricorns. I love this game. I love it. I love it. Now on to my boy Fossil Fighters. My first ever monster tamer, if I remember correctly. These games hold a very, very special place in my heart. They're so goofy. They're so weird. They're poorly animated, but they lean into it. Like, characters don't have knees or elbows, and they walk like that. Yet it goes with that. The game just goes with its silliness. It knows how ridiculous it looks and says, fuck yeah, laugh with us. Also, Fossil Fighter teams are only teams of 5, so as you can see, I only have 5 mons on here instead of the usual 6 as we had this entire time. And your player character is just chosen by a quiz where you choose a Vivasaur, which are the name of your revived dinosaur things, and then that's your hair color and your clothing color. Mine is based off Lexo over there. I dare you to try and figure out what that looks like. I love this. Also, you don't really get a starter, you get a Lexo, which is like, no, it's a Spinex, which is just a wind Vivasaur. I didn't keep it, as you can see. You start the game with it, so there's no real starters in this game. Falsifiers is weird, but good. I really love this game. But we're going to talk about Champions now, because Champions is one of the best Champions is one of the best monster tamers. I'm going to be saying that a lot, but Champions is real good. It takes its silly writing to levels of even funnier. I shall go play Ni no Kuni. No. I forgot to add a Ni no Kuni team. I forgot to do that. I only played it once and I didn't care for it, so yeah. It's fine though. I love Champions so much. This is what made me go into Pokemon in general. It's so good. It's the most hidden gem I can recommend whatsoever. These games are so good. And also, very fun dinosaur designs. You also learn a bit about dinosaurs. Also, this game has 4 starters. I chose Dimetro up there. And also, this game does have evolutions for your mons. You usually just dig them up, revive them, and that's your team. And that's your mon. This game adds in evolution ways. Dimetro and Spino have an evolution. I didn't include them. One, because the in-game models I found were meh. But they're real good. I recommend this game so much. Yes, Luvi, play it, please. Please, I shake you, Luvi. I shake you like Maraca. I shake you like Maraca. I'm also just a big fan of, if you like monster tamers, expand your horizon in Pokemon, or whatever monster tamer you've played. There's many good ones out there, like these ones I've shown. I need to find more. I've been meaning to find more and look into more. That's why I like Vixen a lot, because she has really good recommendations. One of them is Monster Rancher. I have it wishlisted. I haven't bought it yet, but I want to play it. I love it. I love it. Now, finally, there is no third Fossil Fighters game. Next question, the game never came out. We don't talk about it. So thank you for coming to my TEDx talk on Monster Tamers. It was really, I just wanted to make this for fun because I was sick the entire time while making it. And it was just a way to get through the time of not feeling well. And also just make this little funny presentation. Yeah, silly. I love Monster Tamers, if you couldn't tell. They're just my favorite game to play. Grow up some I know some other Monster Tamers are like, to play. Like Dragon Warrior Monster Quest. I've heard good things about that. There's a few. I'm always open to recommendations. I had a good time and understand my good friend Crystal Clear. I love Monster Tamers. I want to play more of them and experience more of them. I just gotta find them. Monolith, you can't plug me during my own stream in my own chat.